So, hey everyone. So obviously nobody really knows to expect with this call, but we just got back, Holly, Leah and I, Nicole, I'm looking at Holly. Nicole, Leah, Melissa, Katrina, a bunch of us went to Super Saturday in Sacramento on Sunday, and it was amazing. And I don't know if you saw Katrina's message in the team page, but her and Melissa got asked to speak on the market council, so it's super amazing. So I'm really proud of them. Being on the market council is really an honor, but it's a lot of work. I did it for years. But I was mentioning when I first got on the call, if you didn't attend Super Saturday, there is the video presentation that's usually available. It used to be in our back office, and I think it probably still is, but you can also probably find it on YouTube. But I always suggest you go back and watch it because you need to become familiar with the format. And I don't feel like it's a replacement for going, but if you can't go because things happen, then go back and watch it because there's so many amazing announcements. There's training in there from coaches' stories. And honestly, January is the most exciting Super Saturday in my opinion, because normally the other Super Saturdays are right after the Success Club trip, where people who are on the Success Club trip know what's going on. There's another one after Summit, another one after Leadership. And Melissa and I go on all of those trips, so we always know all that stuff. So this one was like news to us. And so if you can, watch it. And I'm just encouraging everyone on my team, and this is something I've always encouraged people to do, is that the Success Club trip is really easy to look at and be like, I don't know, I'm scared. Just go all in. Put some skin in the game. But the Success Club trip was a game changer for me in 2013 when I took my family. I took my family on the trip to Punta Cana last year, or in 2017, and I'm taking my daughter on the cruise in a couple months. And I already text her when we were at Super Saturday, I'm like, dude, we're going back to Punta Cana in 2020. She's like, I'm going, because it was her favorite place. I've gotten to take my kids out of the country. Melissa's gotten to take her kids to Mexico with us this last April. These are just things that will build your business and build your relationship with other coaches and really strengthen the way you see corporate and what happens, because you're just getting a little slice of it now, listening to the national wake-up calls, hearing what we do, but going on these trips is a way to fully immerse yourself. So I'm going to go because Melissa is on. I'm going to turn it over to her, and I'm going to shut up. I can't hear you. Can anyone else hear her? Okay. Hey, Kendra. Kendra looks puzzled. She's like, you're muted. Now I'm going to mute you. Now talk.
How about now?
Yep.
Okay, can you hear me from the phone or from the computer? Okay, whatever. I'm just going with it. Sorry about that. Apparently my computer decided it wanted to reset, and I apparently deleted Zoom off my phone and my husband's phone to clear up space the other day. So winning at life. Thank you guys for waiting, and thanks Mindy for stepping in. So hello, happy January, you guys. I was thinking that this is, well, it is the third week, but it's our second call of the month. Next week, we have Rachel Baldwin, who will be speaking to our team. So tonight, we're kind of just going to turn it into a roundtable. I know Mindy went over some of the announcements, so some of this might be duplicated because I don't know everything she went over before I got on. But the first thing, guys, is I wanted to go through is I wanted to congratulate Kim Barberi, who will be going to New Leaders Conference February 8th through the 10th. This is something that Katrina and myself and Heather have all been to. Mindy never was able to go to it because it was before they created it after she was already in leadership. So you're only invited to this one time, and you have to be, I think the new qualifications are 1 star, but you have to be a 2-star to be invited to it. So if that is something that you guys want to attend next year, 2020, I want you to start working towards that now. And Heather and I were talking this morning. It's already on her vision. She wants to go back again. And then from there, because you only get the one invite, you would go to leadership. So congrats, Kim. We're super proud of you. We cannot wait to hear what you learn and the knowledge that you bring back to our teams. And then we definitely want you at leadership with us in Arizona. And if that is something that's important to you guys, you can work towards that now. You do have to hit certain requirements. I think you have to get like 30 elite points or leadership points to be invited, as well as become 5-star. But you can check out all of that FAQs in the back office. The other thing I wanted to do is just congratulate everyone. Is we just became a 3-time elite team. This was not something that I did by myself. Definitely was a team effort, and let's go for 4, guys. The other thing is I want you to put that on your goal. So if Premier and Elite are important to you and you want to really start rising in the ranks, the work starts now. And there is a tracking form. Mindy shared this earlier in the Relentless squad, but you can grab it from there, or I can post it in here. You can also get it from the back office. I sent it to Maddie too. But what you track grows. Heather posted something today, said something about like, if you focus on shit, shit will grow. But if you focus on good stuff, like good stuff will grow. So be mindful, because what you focus on becomes like your reality. And if you focus on hitting Success Club, if you focus on adding new coaches, if you focus on lowering your weight, if you focus on your mindset, those things will all change and improve. But if you're constantly stuck in that cycle of, I'm so depressed, I can't get anyone to join me, I can never lose weight, all of those things, I'll never be a leader, then that's going to grow. So really making sure that in 2019, you're setting your intentions. I shared with Mindy and Katrina yesterday, because I've had such a significant transformation since I first got started, I've always just kind of been okay with where I'm at. This year, I want to change my body, and I have 20 pounds that I want to lose before we go on the cruise. And not because I want to, I guess it's because I do want to look a certain way, but I know that I can do better for myself than I've been doing. I've really just been settling. And I think that passes on to my team, right? If I'm always just doing the mediocre, then other people are too. So I'm really challenging myself and challenging all of you guys to set those health transformation goals so that you can transform your body. Mindy shared with me yesterday, she shared with Becky on their call that she wants to really up her fitness. And some of you guys might be like, whoa, she's super fit already. But like I said, we had the conversation that we kind of just been settling in, like, we know we get better every year. And so it hasn't really been something that we've pushed ourselves on. But no matter how I felt, I showed up for my work this morning. I'm making sure that I'm being cautious of the food that I'm putting in my body, getting all my water in. Utilize your trackers, because that's going to be critical through this. Okay, the next thing that I have on our agenda is we have a new BAT. We have some questions on what's the best, tracking system use. I would highly recommend that you get comfortable with that new system. Carl talked about it on the first wake up call of 2019. Some of you guys were actually asked to be in the Success Club training group that I led. Don't do that, please. So it's time for you to utilize those. I reached out to my local gal. If you're here in Hidden Valley or Lake County and you need her information, her name is Jessica Bennett. She owns Bennett Solutions, and she's printing me off 50 of the tracking forms. She's binding it for me, so it'll be just like a binder, and it's ready for me in the morning to pick up. You could do that through any local printing company. I'm not exactly sure how much it's going to be, but I can't imagine it's going to be very much. But save your receipt. It's a tax write-off, and utilize that every single day, guys. You have to get intentional about your growth. And you have to start setting those SMART goals. We had a girl post in the team page the other day and say, she was going to focus on, it was Melissa, she said she was going to focus on growing her Instagram. And so instead of just saying, awesome, that's great, and basically being her cheerleader, I pushed back and I said, how many people do you want to add this month? How are you going to do that? What is your intentions on doing that? And so as you start onboarding your new coaches, I want you to really push them outside their comfort zone, stretch them a little bit, encourage them to start thinking and shifting, because anybody can say, oh, I'm going to grow my Instagram. But how are you going to grow? How many people are you going to get this month? She said 20. I encouraged her to do 100, because if you are intentional about growing your business, that shouldn't be hard. Okay. The track, I saw there was a question that came through. We have a link posted for the tracker in the team page, but you can also go into the back office and check under trainings and resources, and you can print it off from there as well. Okay. All new coaches or anyone who feels like they don't really understand, you know, this business and want to get their feet wet, I would encourage you, get your new coaches into the Tenaciously, it's TS New Coach Training Academy. This in here, guys, there's an album section. Literally everything they need to know is going to be in there. And I'm putting all of my new coaches in there before I introduce them into the team page. Everyone's getting a new coach email with a link to our team page so they can request access. But then probably this week I'll do I have 5 new coaches, so I'll do all of their introduction to our team page within the next week because they'll have been in there for more than 15 days. This is really so that when people are like, oh, I'm so overwhelmed, I'm getting lost, there's so many notifications, this is going to take that out of the stress out of it for them. They're not going to have to go do the Desalination Academy because a lot of it is from that. And a lot of it is just my spin on things, you know, adding in what I think is beneficial. Tomorrow night, I'm doing a new coach call. If you would like to know how to run those, or you have new coaches who need to do it, make sure they're in that group, because that's where the call is going to be. I'm going to do it tomorrow night in there, and I'm going to keep it live, and I'm going to pin it to the top. That way I don't have to do them over and over again. Because the more that your team grows, the more that you'll see it can be challenging. You're like, oh, did they get a new call? Did they not? But this way, no excuses. Everybody's getting the same stuff. It's all in there. And just like we talked about at Super Saturday this weekend, it's not for a lack of resources. It's a lack of resourcefulness and just helping people really mainstream their learning. If you have not yet got a team and signed up for Team Cup, I highly encourage you to do so. There is 2 diamonds allowed on the team. One of them can be a star diamond. So regardless of whether or not you're sitting at diamond or not now, that's your lifetime rank. So like me, Leah, and Nicole all couldn't be on the same page. What I would encourage you to do is get some of your new coaches, the ones who say they want to work the business, and team up with them and help them get their bearings and learn this, and help them earn some money and some cool swag. There's really cool prizes. There's like a fixate, there's a fixate cutting board. There is a Transform 20 shirt, and then there's one of those little sun wind blockers, which is like a little tent, and it's a Beachbody branded. So I don't know about you guys, but I want all that. And the top teams in the country have it. I forget what the incentive is, but the top team gets to go to corporate. And it's been Emily Robovac. If you want to go look her up on, YouTube, you will find tons of resources and ideas for what she's done as Team Cup, because she literally tells you guys her plan, but she's been the winner for like the past 4 years. So get a Team Cup. Registration is already open. It runs through the end of the month, and we start on the 1st. Okay. What else? Mindy, myself, and Charlie are going to be doing a 2-day Emerald training the last week of the month. So if you guys are pushing for Emerald, or you have coaches on your team who are pushing for Emerald or the halfway to Emerald, it's a $5 buy-in, and we're basically going to teach you how to get to Emerald within those 2 days. Honestly, I think Emerald's a mindset. Really, you just make a decision and you get there. That could be your spouse and your parent, or your best friend, your sibling, whatever it is. Like, you can get to Emerald if you make a decision. And then I just want to encourage you guys, Emerald is your way to Diamond. Like, next 2 coaches, next 2 coaches, next 2 coaches. And let us know when you're doing that so we can celebrate you. Okay. The 31st is the last day for our test group. Sign up for Transform 20. So if you have people who are on the fence, you want to reach out to them now, let them know, hey, I know you want to sign as a coach. We can get you put into this test group, and they'll be added in. But the 31st is the last day. And if you haven't been keeping up with that group, I would absolutely go and check it out, because Sean is just bringing it, and he's real, and he's raw, and he's vulnerable, and he's encouraging, and he's pushing us. By a show of hands, just let me see, like, I think everyone is doing Transform 20, right? By a show of hands. Okay, so most of us are doing Transform 20. So, no, you need to go talk to Dad. Is that cute? Yep, she looks super cute. It's freaking brutal. Today, I wanted to die. And then Katrina called me and made me feel even better because she wanted to die too. So, even though it's 20 minutes, like, I think it's important for us to, like, tell people, like, 20 minutes is no joke. And then make sure that your nutrition is, like, locked down, because we know that 80% of your results are going to come from your nutrition. Because I don't know about you, but I want, like, a banging before and after picture, and we're just rolling off the holidays. If you want to see an amazing way of describing the holidays and how you dealt with it, go read Jeanette Maceda's post, because she just got off an amazing vacation and she talked about the weight that she gained, but she wasn't disappointed in what she did, because she was like, I drank wine with my husband while rolling on a train through France, and like, I gained this extra weight through conversation with my family and connecting. And I was like, that's somebody who loves themselves. If she's able to put a post of herself in a bikini talking about those things, like, that's the message that we want to be sending out to people. Okay. This is really important, so I want you guys to write this down. So my personally sponsored team, as well as Katrina's, we have all talked, and we are pushing for 10-star. And if we are going to lock in 10-star by summit, we need to wake up on 6/6 with that all the way through. Okay. So that means our qualification period would need to start, I think, April. I think it's like, I'll post the date, but it's like April 14th or something. But so Maddie's 5-star, yep, 10-star by the end of the year. So Maddie has big goals too. I don't want that to intimidate you guys. I want you guys to really push. I want you guys to stretch yourself outside your comfort zones. A lot of you have communicated the need for financial, and I was actually able to share with one of the girls, like, I had to bring her back to reality this weekend, and she was thankful. I was a little bit nervous to do so, but she was like, I need to make $400 a week within the next 6 weeks. And I was able to help her reverse engineer, and she was like, holy crap, okay, I have work to do. Like, I didn't realize it was that much work. But this isn't a get rich quick scheme. As you guys know, you do have to put into work. And if you're looking for a book or personal development, I highly recommend Built to Last by Keith Callahan. He is one of the top earning coaches in our business. He's actually Elizabeth Hartkey's coach, who is Christina Delgado's success partner. He's amazing. And I just started his book, and there's already so many nuggets. Like, he literally lays out his 8-year money, like how much he earned. And it's incredible. So he talks about, basically just gives all network marketers the tips and tricks and secret sauce of how they're going to build a foundation that is built to last. Okay. Other thing is, Summit is just around the corner. I know it's like in July, but if you have not got your Summit ticket yet, now's the time to do it, because they've lowered the prices yet again to $155. So you can get there, bunk up with people. I mean, my first Summit, I drove 14 hours. I literally drove to Vegas. It took 14 hours. I bought my ticket online through someone who couldn't go. I slept in a room with a stranger. And it totally, completely changed my business. We're going to have team photo shoots. We're going to be celebrating Elite. Like, Rachel Hollis is going to be there. You don't want to miss out on this opportunity. And if you refer anyone to get their ticket this month, there is a referral program this month. You'll have to check the breaking news to get all the details on that. But you'll earn a spot into the exclusive workout, which I'm assuming is Morning Meltdown with Jericho, because they said it's a new program that's launching around Summit. So I'm assuming that's what it is. Maddie just said, yep, that's what it is. So get your new coaches there. Like, literally, I promise you won't freaking regret it. If you haven't had a second, go and check out the January Success Club prizes. because it's a super sweet shirt or tank top. I personally love the shirt because it just says Coach across it and it's super cute, and you can get it fitted or tie it in a knot. The pair of jeans would be really cute. And then there's 1, 3, 6, 9, and 12. There's awesome prizes. Go check those out. You definitely want to, if you want to earn an income, you have to be earning Success Club. If you're not hitting Success Club in your business, you have a hobby. And that's just being brutally honest with you. So make a decision, guys. You could literally wake up next year in January and we could be celebrating you as a Success Club All-Star. All you have to do is make a decision. Helping 3 people a month is not hard. If you're like, it is hard, it's because you're not talking to enough people. And I know that might sound a little bit harsh, but I promise you guys, like, I remember when my turning point came, I was pretty inconsistent with Success Club. Like, I would hit it, or I'd put my Shakeology on hold, or I'd get to like Success Club 4, or then I'd hit it and then I'd miss it. So my first year was completely like that. And the moment that I made the decision to change that, Leslie Wood, who was one of my top coaches at the time, had called me and she was explaining how they changed the leads program, which I didn't even understand leads because I had never got them, because I didn't have whatever the requirements were, because that was more money. I was just in a closed off mindset. Even though Mindy had told me over and over again, like, the benefits to Success Club, it took me like realizing it for myself. But she called me and she was like, oh yeah, this changed. I felt so stupid because I had to lie, and I was like, oh yeah, no, it's totally cool. Like, and then I had to go look it up myself. And from that moment forward, I knew that I was going to know everything there was to know about this business, because if I was going to call myself a leader or be recognized on leaderboards like I was getting recognized for rank advancing, then I needed to know my stuff. And from that moment, it wasn't my coach's responsibility, and it wasn't anyone else on my team's responsibility for me to make sure that I was hitting Success Club or I knew my business. And so I want to pass the ball over to you if you're feeling like, well, I don't really know this, or I don't know how to hit Success Club, or I don't know what the requirements are, or I don't know how I can earn a free ticket to Summit. You have the ability the same way I do. Everything that I do, you can do. And you could like so far surpass me. So stop playing small if this is important to you, and put your head down and do the work and show up every single day. Stop making excuses of time. We all have the same 24 hours. When I first started this business, I worked full time. So did Mindy. And you can do it. Like, if you dedicate those times when you're driving in the car, put on personal development. If your spouse isn't supportive, guess what? Guess who's getting up super early to work on their business when their spouse is still sleeping? Or before the kids get up and your spouse has already left. Like, I'm not saying to lie to your spouse, but like, show them. If you have parents or friends who are like not supportive, and go out and show them like this money is, or this business can be lucrative and you can be extremely successful. Exactly. Melanie Mitchell, Matt Coulter, like, if you want a job, we'll put the kids in daycare and you will go out and do that. And you can get a job, but you're not going to work this little business. And guess what she did? She freaking did it, and she rose to the top, and then she was a 4-time top coach. Do you think Matt totally ate his words? He has, and he's got on calls, and he's spoken with her at events saying, like, it was stupid of me because I wasn't supportive, because I was so skeptical about it. So I don't want you to use that as an excuse. And the other thing that I just encourage you guys is just explain your goals to your spouse. Like, right on my family knows that Tuesdays are team call Tuesdays, and if we have a declination call, it's up there. Like, if I have a coach one-on-one, anything, it's up here, so my family knows that that's like uninterrupted time to grow the business. Okay. 3-day refreshes, if you didn't know, are 10% off until the end of the month. So stock up on those, encourage those, really push those right now. There's still people out there who are looking for a solution, who are not sure that they can be successful. Get them started on 3-day refresh, because that will give them some immediate results. And then when people see results, they want to keep going. That will motivate them. Okay. Maddie posted the link in our team page, and Mindy posted it in the Relentless squad for the 2020 Success Club opt-in list. If you haven't got on that yet, guys, make sure you do. And basically that's like giving yourself a like push to do the work, because the people that are going to get invited off the list first are the people that did the work last year. And then as spots become opened up, that's when people who maybe didn't hit Success Clubs consecutively will get invited off that list. Okay. Just checking over my list really quick.
Hey, can I add one thing on the Success Club trip? So
yeah.
I reverse engineered because I looked up the cost for the cheapest room. You do have to pay the $300 non-refundable deposit, but the cheapest room is $1,200. And if you hit Success Club every single month, at least SC5, that room will be paid for. So you don't have to pay anything extra. For me, this past year, I didn't hit Success Club consistently. And so me going on the cruise, it's a great opportunity for me and my family, but I'm having to pay a lot out of pocket. And so that's one thing that I had that I did to set those goals ahead of time. I mean, obviously SE is always a good thing, but realizing I'm having to pay this now, and if I really do the work this next year, I don't have to pay for it next year. That makes sense.
Yep. I've never paid for my trip. This year I got a bigger room, so I did pay extra quarterly, but that was worth it to me to have a bigger stateroom because the first trip we went on, I felt like we were like claustrophobic. But you're also eligible to earn onboard cash. So when you hit Success Club 5 or 10 consecutively, Beachbody actually gives you onboard cash, which is free spending money when you get on the trip. So that's really cool because you can book excursions, you can buy your drink packages. There's like Coach and Tiffany's and like all these other shops in there. Last cruise we went on, which was my first Success Club trip, I came home with a Coach purse and my husband got like a brand new Fossil watch on top of our drink packages. And I got like a Kate Spade scarf. Like Beachbody paid for all that. And that was amazing to me. That was my first Success Club trip ever. So I was like totally mind blown that was happening. So that's more incentive for you to work towards those things because next year, I think it's a $750 resort credit, which was the same as last year. Like, me, Mindy, and Katrina got our hair done like 3 times at the hotel. We booked massages. We went on excursions. So like Tyler and I went swimming with dolphins. Like these are things that if you paid for them out of pocket, it would cost you so much money. But Beachbody is giving you an opportunity not only to take your family on a very inexpensive trip because yes, everyone has a $300 deposit and then you have to pay for your plane tickets, but like 99.9% of your food is covered. And like at the resort, sometimes there's places that you have to pay a little bit extra. I think there's a little bit of a resort fee when you're there, but like, why wouldn't you work for those things? I was telling somebody the other day who's like really, she's like, I'm struggling. I'm like struggling in a state of mind. Change your mindset, like shift your focus. But if somebody was to tell you, Heather, your kids won't eat for the next 6 months if you don't make this happen, you'd figure out a freaking way to make this work because you wouldn't want your kids to starve. And I remember somebody telling me, listening on a call when I first got started, and they were like, if it came down to your kids' life and their well-being, like you would do everything in your power to make that possible. And that's always stuck with me. So you just have to make a decision of what's important to you and always go back to your why. And if you're struggling to figure out what your why is, I would say that's square one. And maybe you need to do some soul searching and some digging, because for me, my why is to be home with my kids. I never want to have to go back to work for somebody else. And so I show up for my business every single day, no matter how I feel, because that's important to me. And I can't tell you, Maddie doesn't have kids, so hers is completely different, right? Everyone's is going to be different. So you just have to figure out what that is. I can speak for Katrina as well as myself. We are always available for one-on-one calls. I know Mindy has a link that you can schedule one-on-one calls with her if you're her personally sponsored coach. If you're down in her downline and you belong to Katrina and I, please reach out to us first. But if there's somebody who signs up and, you know, your coach doesn't work the business, we got you. Like, we're not going to let anybody just try to figure things out on their own, but we also want you to kind of figure things out on your own. Maddie just said same here too. So, okay. So I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to open this up for a round table. You guys can ask questions. You can share anything that you might need help with, whatever you need.
I want to just say, put in the comments right now, like, what is the one thing you struggle with on a daily basis every single day in your business? Like, a lot of people, it's inviting, but put it down in the things that maybe that's something that someone that's working it really well right now can give you some tips. But if you don't want to come in and say it, just put it in the comments, something that every single day you dread doing or that you're just like nervous about. Just put it in the comments so we can help you think of some stuff. Sorry, I'm in my really cute pajamas. Inviting. Anxiety.
Melissa, when did you say that Emerald training is? Like the last week of January or something?
You're muted, I think.
Sorry. Yeah, it's the last week of the month. I think it's the 28th and the 29th.
Cool. I need to do one of those like ASAP for some of my coaches. I feel like I don't know if I can wait that long.
I'm doing one on Thursday. I can send you the link.
Oh, you are? Cool. Okay. I only have like 4 coaches and like 3 of them are building the business. So I thought maybe I'd even just try to set something up with them only even or something.
Yeah. I mean, this is one that I got invited to from like some of the top coaches, like top 25, like Ashley invited me to, and so she's running it. So I'm not technically running it, but I can send the link to you if you want to send it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that'd be sweet. Thanks.
Yes.
Maddie, can you just post that in the team page for any of our other new coaches that might need a training beforehand?
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks.
Do you guys have more problems with inviting to coaching or inviting to a boot camp or all of the above?
What is it about inviting that everyone is so like, is it the limiting belief that people are going to say no? Or is it the time it takes? Like, what is it about inviting that makes you guys really want to hold back or struggle with it?
Finding people who want to work the business. So when I first, I couldn't get anyone, and I was always looking for that specific person to work the business that was exactly the picture perfect thing, and that was just not real. That's why it took me 6 months to go Emerald, because I was waiting for the most perfect coach to invite, and I was so scared to invite them in general. So I would say if you're scared to find people, or you're having a hard time finding people that are working the business, you got to talk about the business more, because that means they don't know what you're doing to make money. And so I would say always lead with the coaching invite no matter what. Even if it's a discount coach and they're not really your tribe, lead with that coaching discount or anything before you invite to the boot camp, because more than likely you're going to find someone that something resonates with them about you as a coach, and they're going to want to work the business with you. That seems to help me a lot. And posting literally for the first whole month, first 2 weeks until Transform 20, everything I posted was for the boot camp, and I sent 60 invites every single day. And now this week I'm running a coach sneak peek on Friday, and so every single I sent out 30 invites today just to coaching. And it's harder to invite to coaching, but it is only that because you say it in your mind, you're telling yourself it's harder to invite to coaching. Everyone can do it. It's just trying to find that person that's going to pull the trigger. So I would say make sure all your stories are talking about it, make sure your posts are talking about it, and then when you're inviting, they're all about coaching. That's how you're going to find it.
I would also just add on to what Maddie said is I started as a discount coach. Katrina started as a discount coach. Maddie started as a discount coach. Heather, when she first started up, she started as a discount coach. So don't count people out just because they say they don't want to work the business. That's why every single person gets a new coach email from me with all the same stuff, regardless of whether they want to work the business or they don't, because you never know. And then every single person is going into that new Tenacious or, TF New Coach University, because you never know what it is. And then dig deep a little bit, figure out what people's struggles are. Like, what are the desires that they have for their life? Would they like to have a housekeeper? Would they like to have more date nights? Would they like to be able to go get a facial? Would they like to be able to take a vacation? And when you can dig those things out and help people realize that you have a solution for that, then it's going to work. Yeah, Katrina literally told me, like, if you ask me to sell, I'll quit. Like, I don't have time for that. So, like, just remember that people might be like, oh yeah, I'm just signing up for the discount, and then change their mind. So making sure that they're involved and engaged, and like reaching out and saying, hey, did you get your 7-day quick start or your first 30 email from corporate? Did you go through all of those things? So yeah.
I'll just say really quickly.
Go ahead.
I mean, just if it helps anything at all, I've gotten like just my first 4 coaches in the last 2 months just restarting this business again. And the way that I say it is I always talk about like the workouts and Shakeology, and I don't talk about coaching a lot on my social media quite yet, just because I'm still like learning and building it and remembering the whole business about it again. But I think that every time I start talking to someone about a challenge tracker, they're like, what does your workout program come with? Or what are you doing for your workouts or something like that? Then I'll start saying, well, if you love Shakeology as much as I love it, then you can sign up to be a coach for the discount. And then almost always people will just sign up as a coach because it's free to sign up as a coach with the challenge pack. And then once they start doing their workouts and they start loving their results and they start loving the meal plan and they love everything about Beachbody programs and everything about it like we do, then they'll continue with Shakeology, or they'll switch to the protein bars, or they'll try the Energize and Recover. And then they always want that ongoing discount like we do. And like my girl, that one of my coaches that just signed up like a couple weeks ago, and she just went Emerald last week, was because she signed up her husband and her mom as a coach. And I was like, listen, now you're going to start getting, like, I'm already starting to get free leads all the time on my thing just as soon as I got Emerald. And I think that's like the coolest thing ever to tell people is, as soon as you get 2 coaches under you, then you start getting free customers every single week. You start getting a weekly paycheck, even if it's just a tiny bit or however much it is. Like, you're getting paid something weekly. You're starting to earn volume from people underneath you. Like, there's so many amazing things about being Emerald. Like, I think like, last time when I was in this business, I kind of like took Emerald for granted before because I was just, going up there and up there. But now my goal is just to get like every single coach of mine to Emerald. Like, I mean, yeah, more than that's cool, but like the more emeralds there is, I feel like then if you get to Emerald, you can tell other people how amazing Emerald is. That's why I'm like excited about that Emerald training, because I'm like so into just getting everybody to Emerald right now, and then they can show everybody else how to get to Emerald. And it's just, if you don't focus on Diamond, like you said, like even for that Emerald training that you have coming up, Melissa, or I think you said something about Emerald training, but I was thinking the same thing, like you said, like 2, 2, 2, 2. Like, even if you just don't focus on Diamond, you just focus on getting 2, 2, 2, and make yourself Emerald over and over and over again, or I'm like getting way off subject here.
No, I think it's really good insight.
Yeah, but I mean, I think just how that girl got to Emerald last week, and she wasn't even planning on working the business. She signed up as a discount coach. Like, she just wanted to keep getting Shakeology, and she's already Emerald, and she's not even. And then she's like, okay, well, we need to sit down and talk more because I think this is pretty cool. I'm like, dude, now you should get your husband and your mom to Emerald, and then get your.
And then she won that $100.
Right, she won the $100, and then if she gets 2 more people on her team, then and gets her husband and her mom to Emerald, then she'll be Ruby. And I'm like, dude, you don't even know, like, you could totally do this. Like, it's not like as crazy or hard as difficult as it seems. If you just keep inviting to your challenge group, keep doing the daily activities, keep showing your meals, your workouts, like everything else. Like, I don't even like. I think I just have sort of a following from the other few years of doing this or whatever, but I just keep inviting people every day and just talking to people who are liking my stuff, and I just feel like it's all coming together again. I'm so excited.
Totally, guys.
Just keep doing it and just keep doing it every single day. Like, I don't do a power hour. I work like 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, 5 minutes here. Like one of my coaches today was like, how do you do that power hour every day? And I was like, dude, I do not do an hour. I do like 5 minutes, like 20 times a day. Like, I don't do like an hour, you know, like you just get it done.
Yeah, you fit it in the pockets throughout the day that you're able to do it. And just remember to have fun, you guys. Like, this business should be fun. If you're not having fun, if you're dreading it, I promise you you're doing it wrong, because I love this business and I love the value that it's brought into my life, and the fact that, you know, if I go to Tennessee, I could see Lizzie, or if I go to Oregon or Arizona, I could go see Maddie, or Mindy, you know, moved from Texas to Fort Bragg. Like, it's just given so many people to my life, and you should know the value that you have to offer. People don't really freaking understand, and that's why they don't take it, like, they don't take advantage of it, because they don't put the skin in the game. So I'm going to give you guys back the rest of your evening. We've been going for 45 minutes, but if you have any questions on anything that I shared tonight, please let us know. Like I said, next week, Katrina has Rachel Baldwin lined up. We're really excited for that. Next month, we will be sharing our calendar super early, well, relatively quick, because we do have some adjustments for team calls. Like, our first one's going to be in the morning. One of them is going to be on a Wednesday. So just take note that there are going to be some changes, but we have some really amazing, powerful leaders who are going to come out in and share some great content. You won't want to miss these. And if you can't listen on live, you can always listen to the replay. But thank you so much for being on our team call, and hopefully this provided value. Go out and change someone's life. Have a good night, guys.
Hmm.